every other boxer's been doing. Trying to stay in shape.
Obviously, probably disappointed. Did you have a date yet in terms of like when your pro debut was supposed to be?
No, I didn't. We just started training camp. We were 2 weeks into training camp. Everything was going smoothly. Everything was going well. I was looking good. And then coronavirus hit. It got worse and worse and worse. So, we had to make the hard decision to break up training camp. And, everybody went back home. And we'll resume back later.
Before we get into forward, let's take a step back. What got you into boxing? When did you start boxing? And tell us about the origins of Tika Hemingway's boxing career.
Okay, yeah. So I've been boxing since I was 17. I ran to. I'm gonna make a long story short. Long story short. So I ran to a boxing trainer, asked him to train me. He said, yeah, eventually. We went to the gym, started training, been in the gym ever since. I won my first national championship with only 5 fights. I got on Team USA, started traveling the world, started getting better and better, more experience, and just winning national championships and winning, national, international medals, and just, making a name for myself.
And so, like you said, it segued into a very positive and productive amateur career where you won how many national titles? You said that was your first one. How many national championships?
I won 4, and those are only the 4 that I went to. So I would, I would win a national championship, travel the world with Team USA for, a year and a half, and then, not go to the nationals. And, I would do that sporadically over the years. I've been boxing for about 10 years. So I have a lot of experience. I have 100 fights, 13 losses.
And you fought most of the top girls, some names that even a lot of the pro fans know about. You want to expound on that?
Yes, I fought Clarissa Shields. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who she is. I fought a girl named Franchon Cruz. She has the belt at 168.
The WBO champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. I fought Franchon Cruz. I beat her numerous times in the amateurs. Much respect to Franchon Cruz. Raquel Miller. I think she has a few belts, right?
Yes, 160 pounder. Oh, your stablemate now with Split Team Management.
All right, so I saw love to Raquel Miller too, but I beat her numerous times in the amateurs. Who else? Raquel Miller, Franchon Cruz, Clarissa Shields. I fought everybody. I'm a top amateur myself. Fighting in 2 Olympic trials. I fought in the Olympic trials in 2012 and 2016. So that speaks volumes in itself that I can, maintain that for so long. And I fought in the finals in both, so that speaks volumes. And my opponent was, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, so that says a lot.
By fighting, by fighting Clarissa, and you had some moments in those fights. How much confidence that, and she's looked upon of being maybe the top amateur woman today, whether it's her, Katie Taylor, or whoever. Because how you did with her in terms of you had some good moments in this fight. How much confidence gives you, for when and you meet down the road?
You said, hold on. Did you say I had some good moments in the fight?
Well, yeah. You had some good moments in the fight. No,
I had good moments in what fight?
When you fought Clarissa.
The whole fight was a good moment.
That's
every
well, you know what I'm.
Every time I fight is a good moment.
But you know what I mean. You were very competitive in those fights. That's what I was getting at.
Thank you. That's a better clarification.
Okay.
Good moments is like little 15-second bursts of greatness.
It's all how you want to interpret it.
But yeah, she's very good. She's very good. She's hard to figure out at first. She's hard to figure out. She's an enigma. I give her 100% respect. She earned everything she has. She deserves everything she has. She worked for everything she has. I have nothing bad to say about her. Her work ethic is amazing. But she could be beat.
How many fights do you think it's going to take?
No, I wouldn't say she could be beat. She can be beat, but she can. In the pros, I'll get the decision over her because she can definitely be beat. But in the pros, I'll definitely get the decision because it won't be as political as the amateurs. So they it won't be as political, and I'll get the decision in the pros.
Whether it's Franchon or Clarissa, Raquel, one of those other girls, how many fights do you think you're going to need, for you to be ready for those types of challenges?
I mean, coming like I said, I have a lot. I have 100 fights, 13 losses. But at the same time, I have a coach. His name is Otha Jones, and I have another coach. His name is Roshan Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Toledo. They're amazing boxing coaches. You know what I mean? So I'll be 100% ready for whoever I step in the ring with. Whenever my manager Brian Cohen sets up the fight, and my coaches say yes, then we're on board and we're ready to go. We're ready for whoever.
There's a good segue because I wanted to ask about being in that camp with, Otha Jones, and that's a whole camp there with Otha and Charles Conwell and the Olympian O'Shea Jones. What's it like? You guys push each other. What's it like to be around that talent, all the time?
It's actually horrible for real. Let me tell you why. Horrible, like joking wise, because all right, so a lot of people don't know this, but I've been training myself. I was training myself for a long time in Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been on a great job training myself. I've been on a great job. But when I got with Coach Otha and Coach Rashawn, they've been trying to get with me for a few years. But whenever I got with them and saw how they train, um, it's like the army. It's like we're eating perfectly. We eat perfectly. I can't even cheat. We eat perfectly. We do everything perfectly. Like everything is perfect. Everything is on point. I have no complaints, and there's no reason why I should not be champion with the discipline that they instill in me. You know, and I got the baddest manager in the world, Brian Kahn. Like, man, look at me. I'm pretty.
Uh, uh,
I'm
you're gonna give him a big ego, Brian.
he has a big ego, but it's funny
No.
because I like it because me and Brian are kind of like the same people. It's funny.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I love Brian. Brian's been a friend of mine for a long time. Talk about the women's game. Before the shutdown, there's obviously, I think, been a good influx in women's boxing in the past couple years with Clarissa, Katie Taylor, getting in big fights that, a lot of the boxing fans are excited about. You feel that, and I bet you can't wait to be a part of that mix.
I cannot wait to be a part of that mix. I just can't wait. That's all I think about is being part of the mix. Like talent wise, I already am, but I just have to, get the fights. Um, I don't know. I just can't wait to be a part of history. Continue to be a part of history. That's all. I mean, a lot of people that are getting more interested in women's boxing, um, for many different reasons. A lot of us we're really good. We're beasts. We're animals. We train hard. You know, they might love the stuff talkers. They might like the pretty girls. We're just amazing, and we're here. We're here to stay. And you can't get rid of us. So you might as well just start picking out who your favorite is, and start getting behind them. And let's go.
You
Back
said
on it.
you said you've been training for about 10 years. It's about as long as the Olympic movement for women's boxing has been. It's been a bit about 10 years. You feel that is the correlation to the influx of women's boxing has been that Olympic movement and the betterment of the amateur programs.
Yes, yes. The betterment of the amateur program, the betterment of the skill. Before, I mean, what can you say? A lot of the women didn't have the skill that we have now. They did, you know what I mean? Like the Christy Martins, blah blah. They had the skill, but a lot of us women can fight now. A lot of us women can fight. We can really fight. We're really technical. We're really strong. We're putting in the work. So you have no choice but to love us. You have no choice.
You said you started at 17. What got you interested in
Honestly, I was never interested in boxing. You never know what I'm gonna say. My mouth is crazy sometimes.
it?
So I always played basketball. I'm a big,
So
basketball.
you're an athlete by trade.
I'm an athlete by trade. So I ran into, I was my mouth got me into boxing. I was walking down the street, and I was walking with one of my friends, and like I'm making all these jokes. I'm ripping on people. I'm saying all types of stuff. We're cracking up, and we see this guy on the street corner. His name is Shelton Studdemeyer. His name was Shelton Studdemeyer. We saw him on the street corner, and I started like talking about his clothes and ripping on him, having fun with her, only her. And when we got closer, she said, "Oh no, I know him. He's a boxing trainer." And I said, "Watch this. I'm gonna ask him to train me and see what he says." I was all jokes. And I asked him, and he said no. And then I asked him again, and he said no. And I asked him again, and he said no. And then I started, I wanted to box even more. So he said, "If you're so serious, let's go to the gym right now." And it was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm 17. I'm with my friend. I was been supposed to be home. I'm playing around in the corner with my friend and this man. And I looked at her. She looked at me, and I said, "Let's go." We went to the gym that night. We trained for about an hour. I've been in the gym ever since, and we've been in the gym ever since. And that man has honed. That man, I owe that man a lot. He has made me into the person. He's helped mold me into the person I am today.
So basically,
He's actually dead now. He got killed at work. He was murdered at work. He's a
hmm.
minister. It's just crazy.
So like his memory, it's a big motivation for you. His memory.
His memory is everything. I mean, he was a minister. He was a man of God. So
Hmm.
he instilled humbleness in me. He instilled, like to be great is the fall. Psalm 144. Like he just instilled so much into me that I'll never forget. And what's is crazy is he was a minister, and he worked at a homeless shelter. And someone knocked on his door. Someone knocked on the his work door, his homeless shelter door, trying to get in at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he told them like, "No, I want to help you, but it's against policy. You can't come in at 3 o'clock in the morning. Blah blah blah." And he said, "Come back in the morning. I'll help you." The guy shot through the door
Hmm.
and murdered him. So
Hmm.
yeah, so this was recent. So I just been like this year has been crazy for me.
And plus everyone is, you may be 2-3-0 by now, or if this pandemic hadn't happened. And whatnot. I was just going through Instagram, seeing some things. You mentioned your training camp before. I see that O'Shea and the Jones are doing a women's camp. Is that something that you're going to be involved with?
Um, I'm involved only because I'm part of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, I'm part of what they have going on. But I think what O'Shea has going on is amazing. I'm not a part of it as far as it's not my camp,
Mm-hmm.
but I will be a participant.
Yeah.
So what she has going on is great. It's great for women's boxing. You don't get a lot of female camps. And then for her to be Olympian, and then for her to be doing this, in the uh, same time as the coronavirus and all of that, it's just good. So it's just good for her, and good for Soul City, and good for just women's boxers. So that's good for her. And big up to O'Shea. What's up, O'Shea?
So you're in Pittsburgh. I guess when you're ready to fight, you go to Toledo and you stay there for these 6-8 weeks, whatever that camp may be.
Yeah, yep. I go to Toledo. I stay with I stay on campus. They have living quarters for the athletes. I'm looking around because I'm outside and there's animals, and I'm scared
Yeah,
of
I was just
dogs.
about to ask you.
I'm
You look like it looks like a nice summer day out in Pittsburgh there.
Look, I don't want to move my phone.
Go for it. We want people to see what's going on.
All right, okay. So this is where I'm at. So I'm like in this cabin right here. but
Oh
I
wow.
don't know. Like, well, the river. I'm sorry, it is the river. It's Allegheny River.
Okay, I know it.
So,
So
and
you
there's some kids playing right there. So I'm looking at them when they scream.
just
So.
going through Instagram, seeing some things you mentioned. So you the only thing I know about I haven't been to Pittsburgh much. I know I know where the stadiums are, where all the rivers meet. Is that kind of near you?
Yep. Well, I live on a little. I'm from Pittsburgh. I live in Pittsburgh, but I live in the suburbs now. But yeah, that is I mean the river. Yep. Three Rivers, all that.
A question I've been asking a lot of people I've been interviewing. It seems like when the fights start happening again, they're going to come fast and furious, and spots are going to be probably filling up really quick. So obviously fighters need to fight, they need to make money, whatever. If And I would imagine the first couple fights are probably going to, you may only get 2 3 weeks notices, when you're asked. Is that what you think? And would you be ready, when, if they ask you, hey, got first fights in 2 3 weeks, would you be ready for something like that?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going back to training camp. A little prematurely. I'm leaving in a week to go back to training camp, so I'm gonna be ready for whatever. Like, if my coach say yeah, I'm ready, then I'm ready. So I don't care. I don't care about anything. Like I'm basically I'm a robot. I don't like to worry and care and do all that stuff. When it comes to boxing, I'm a robot. Just tell me when and where. Just tell me when and where I'll show up and I'll fight. I'll get the job done. I don't have time for that.
It's a great
I,
great attitude. We wish more fighters were like that. Do you see some fighters that they need to be everything has to be perfect for them, or what was I going to say? The last couple questions here. Where can someone find Tika Hemingway on the social media platforms?
you can find me on Facebook, Tika Hemingway. You can find me on Instagram at Tika Hemingway. My Instagram sucks, guys. So don't. So just follow me and just. It's humble. I'm humble, so just know it's gonna grow. But
I'm
at
sure.
Tika Hemingway on everything.
I'm
Tika
sure as
Hemingway.
you fight more, you'll put more pictures up with knockout pictures and pictures of your hand getting raised up and training and whatnot. So I would imagine that's going to happen.
I'm doing an interview for this media, but it's okay.
This is live. That's why I like doing live because it's authentic.
It was cool, and then I was like, but no. So I'm gonna just like say something to probably I don't know when we're closing, but I'm gonna say something like I just want women's boxing to just grow and just continue to grow. There's not just there's many female boxers, and I want people to know who I am, and I want people to follow me, and I want people to continue to just watch my growth and to just watch my this journey in the professional boxing world because I really have a goal and a plan to do a lot of things, you know.
Well, based on this interview, I believe you do have the it factor to be a part of the growth of women's boxing, to be a big part of the growth of women's boxing. So, any other things you want to say in closing before we let you enjoy the rest of the beautiful day by the river?
Um, yeah, I do. See, don't ask me that question because I'm always look. We'll never close. We'll
Well,
never.
we got if you got 10 minutes, so
10 minutes.
yeah, you got 10 minutes. So if you want to talk for
Why,
10 straight.
why do you keep on saying? Why do you keep on saying we're closing if we have 10 minutes? That's
All
a
right,
long
well
time.
we'll keep on going.
Closing is one. Closing is like 2 minutes. Like,
Okay.
that's like.
Now I'm being directed. You're good at this. You're good at this.
All right. So, what you want to ask me? Let's finish talking then.
Okay. Who? Okay. So who are your boxing influences?
Who are my boxing influences? You want to know something? You know what? Every time someone asks me that question, I always get stuck. And this is the real reason why I get stuck. Because I don't care what you can do inside the ring. I don't care how many jabs you throw. My boxing influences are the people who live their lives just with integrity and just grace outside of the ring. I really like people who just like, I don't care if you get knocked out every day. Like your record, hold on, 49-0 is good. So 0 and 49. I don't care if your record's 0 and 49. If you live your life with integrity, your heart is clean, you love God, you work hard, I love you and I'm a fan of yours. So that's the real reason. Like, that's the real answer. I can't pick a person because I don't know these people. They're good. They can throw a right hand, but is your heart clean?
Do you have a favorite fighter or two that you like watching the
Yeah,
most?
I do. Well, I like watching. That's entertaining. It's gonna be so controversial though, so I don't know if I should say it.
Say whoever you want.
But I like watching them because it's entertainment, though, not because of the skill.
That's fine. And who is that?
All right, it's Adrian Broner.
That's fine. But you know what? It's still part of the game, the entertainment. And obviously, he still does good numbers on television. Still does numbers on pay per view. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all part of the game.
You know what? That's what it is. That's what female boxing is missing. Female boxing is missing people who like, everybody's trying to be too quiet. Everybody's trying to be too prissy. Everyone, like, be yourself. Be your goddamn self. Be yourself.
So are you the girl to start stirring some stuff up?
No, I'm the girl who, if I feel that way, I'm gonna say it. If I think that way, I'm gonna say it. If I want to move like that, I'm gonna move like that. So, like, I feel like however you feel in life, you should feel that way, but feel it confidently and do it. You know what I mean? So if I ever write something down, if I ever say I'm gonna drag somebody, I'm gonna drag them flat out. If I ever say whatever I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do it. So no, that's not talking stuff. I'm just being myself.
I don't think I asked you this. What's your style in the ring?
My style is I'm very versatile. I'm very versatile. Like, I like to box. I like to outbox my opponent, and I like to show that I'm the superior boxer at all times. Like, that's what I get off on, But I have an obsession with Tyson, and I kind of sometimes I like to see how fast I can get you out of there. But I'm a boxer puncher.
Did you see?
I make adjustments well. I listen well. I have speed. I just really just have everything. A coach will want in a fighter.
Did you see the Tyson's video that they put out the other day?
I love Tyson. Do you know Tyson?
I've met him before. Yeah.
I know Tyson. I wish I could meet Tyson. Do you know Layla Ali?
I
Somebody need to hook me up with Layla Ali.
I've met Layla Ali, and she actually lived in the city I grew up in for a few minutes, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. But no, I've met her once.
We're both cute. We both like to cook. Both can fight. Both don't like the same people. Don't like this. We both have good. We're just both awesome people. I need to get hooked up with Layla.
What?
You know what? I do have something to say. So, I put a post on Facebook saying what I said. And I'm getting a lot of people who want to interview and get to know me. I feel like I said it because I meant it, and also I've been waiting for somebody to step up. Nobody's stepping up. Nobody's stepping up. Y'all, like, people are letting people. Y'all letting this girl bully y'all, and nobody's stepping up. Like, nobody's saying anything. Everybody's just letting belts get taken away, and just nobody's stepping up. So I just wanted to let her know that I'm here. I'm pro. I'm not going anywhere. And when the time comes, you're gonna have to really, really fight, girl. So that's all. And I want to get.
There's been talk the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you've seen possible Clarissa fighting Layla. Is that something you'd want to see?
No. What? What? Why?
I'm just asking you.
You want to know something? Look, listen. My saying. I made it up. All right. Like, Like everybody want to be the GOAT. I want to beat the GOAT. Is that good?
That's it. I mean, that's a good headline.
Everybody want to be the GOAT. I don't want to be the GOAT. When they talk about Tika Hemingway, I don't want them to say Tika Hemingway is a GOAT. I don't give a fuck about. I don't care about being the GOAT. I want to beat the GOAT. So whoever you, if you the GOAT, I want to beat you. So that's my goal, and that's my saying, and that's my mission in the pros. I want to beat the GOAT. So whoever you are, I want to beat you. You think you the GOAT? Let's blow it up.
So by the time you're ready, whether it's 7, 8 fights,
Let's
couple,
blow it up. I like that. Let's blow it up. I'm gonna get a shirt made. Let's blow it up. Let's blow it up.
there you go. So you come on my interview and you get shirts made. Maybe you'll make some money off it. There you go.
You know what? Let's blow it up. You know what? I swear to goodness, if somebody steal my stuff, we're suing, right?
Absolutely. My in on it. If I'm
I
in,
said
if I'm
you
in,
gonna help with the lawyer?
if I'm in on it, we're suing.
We suing the hell out of
There,
them.
there you go. So now we got 2 minutes left. So now
Right,
give
good.
your final statement to the people. Where we mentioned where everyone can find you. Give me a final statement to the people.
Okay, final statement. A lot of people don't know me, and I want the world to know who I am. And my final statement is, I'm a good person. I vow to give all of my opponents the utmost respect outside of the ring. But I'm just on a mission to be great, and I just want everybody to just join in on the mission and just love me and watch me. And just let's have fun. Let's be entertained. We have work to do. Let's have fun.
Put a period on it, and that was a tremendous interview. Yeah, and it's your first time using Zoom. You did terrific on it.
Hold on. You're my first interview as a pro.
There you go.
My first interview.
So when you become the GOAT, the greatest of all time, don't forget the little people when they want to interview you.
Hold on. Ask me what flavor this is.
What flavor is it?
I literally just looked. It's called Buried Treasure.
Is that lipstick? Or
It's like lipstick lip gloss. It makes it look cute.
I think that's my first lipstick question I've ever had. I mean, I've interviewed like 20,000 people. It's my first lipstick question. So everyone's watching this. So again, we'll follow your career and to big and great things and possible major fights down the road. We wish you best of luck.